What's up, everybody? It's No One Shall coming right back at you with another Star Trek Fleet Command video. Today we're going to look into the new Augment Officers that came with the Harry Mudd Augment Outlaw expansion or revamp of Augment Space. And we're going to look at the officers and kind of go through them and show what are they good for and what aren't they good for. I'm going to use hostiles to show them off and their abilities. So let's go take a look at the officers. So if we go to grouping, and oops, I didn't do grouping. There we go. Let's go all the way down. I know my big head's in the way, but let's see. Let's scroll right over them. So we have Pan, Navi, and Rima. So those are the new officers that came out in play. So Pan, basically he increases speed, and his officer ability is to cause hull breach on himself for 3 rounds. You may ask, why would you want to cause hull breach on yourself? It's kind of like one of those I hurt myself to go and rage to do more damage and output more damage, or Rima's Navi's is drastic measure. So at the start of each round, the ship if the ship has a hull breach, Navi increases the crit damage by 20% of the bonus. So it's 20% to whatever you're doing the crit as at base rate, not at what your current one is. You can't really calculate that in. It's probably more like a 10 to 15% maybe on that. And then her officer abilities at the start of each round, the ship has hull breach. If the ship has hull breach, Navi increases the armored shield deflection by 50%, aka that's mitigation. I have your base mitigation. And then if we look at Rima, so I kind of like Rima's one, his captain ability. His captain abilities, you pay for that, or you'll pay for that. At the start of each round, if the ship has hull breach, Rima increases the damage of the ship by 40% for that round. So as long as your ship has hull breach inflicted upon itself, he increases your output of your damage by 40%. And then his officer ability, it's called System Critical. At the start of each round, if the ship has hull breach, Rima adds 5% to your crit chance, so it raises your crit chance. So with a ship with a high crit, your ship could be critting more per se. So right now I currently have my Saladin out, and we look at my Saladin, I have Pan on it. Why? For speed. So if you combine them all, you do the synergy, he has a 50% bonus speed. You can fly across the system in 45 seconds flat. Let's get over here quick. Well, with my Vidar, it turns into a speed racer with him on there. So we go over here, as you see you can see it just moving. To get to the other side of the system, when I get there, 42 seconds flat, 44. That's not bad. But let's hit an enemy with Pan as captain. I know it's kind of like, why would you do that? I'm just show you the abilities coming into play. The ship moving speed, which is like, that's the kind of ship I like, when your ship is like scooting through the system really quickly to either if you're going to chase down someone and hitting a base, or chase down something in general, or just get places when you're trying to run a mission and you want a fast ship. Throw something like that on a Vidar and just zoom around quickly, because the Vidar is going faster than the Sally. I hear if you put these same officers on the Tribune, it moves just as fast as a Saladin, a Tribune. Alright, so we just got him that hit. Let's look at the abilities. Let's see if we get anything proccing right away with him. So the first round, nothing happened. Second round, nothing happened. Third round, nothing. And fourth round. But here's the one that actually has a lot. So let's go to the first one I hit earlier. And right away, so mistakes were made, happens right away. 25% chance to hull breach for 3 rounds. So it gave the mitigation. So if we go to the mitigation, let me pull my handy dandy calculator up and go to my desktop. So if we look at this, so we have 152242, and then I think it was dividing, I could be wrong, 33812. So we have a 40% mitigation right there, 45, which that's not too great. But that's only 50% mitigation. When you have officers like Zhao that's working off morale, then yeah. And then it crits. So you get the crit bonus from this crit chance went up by 5%, so the ship's gonna more often crit. And that's about for that one. But let's take out Pan as the officer and grab Rima as the captain, because I like Rima's ability. His captain's ability, you'll pay for it. And once we apply it, go back to the desktop. Not desktop. It gets 80% chance of increasing the damage. So if the ship has hull breach afflicted upon itself, then he has more of a chance to do more damage output with that ability. Just for the, I think it's energy weapons, I think it was. I'll look at it again. So the main kinetic damage for the Saladin won't really take into play. Boom. Let's take a look. Let me verify that before we get into the logs. Oh, just in general. So battle logs. So as we see, the Saladin does about 5100 with the main cannon, or 510k with the main cannon, 186k with its secondary cannon. So mistakes were made happen. Guardian Angel, so your mitigation goes up. Rima's crit chance goes up, and then the damage goes up. So if we look at it, that was a critical. And so we're at, this is the secondary one, so that was another critical. Go down again, and its main cannon is at 407k. So it did get an increase in its base one by like 10%, 20% maybe at that. It's 100k, so that's a pretty good little bump on that. Let's try it again on another hostile again. So let's go one more time, and we're gonna check that one out. I'm just trying to think, like, if they're gonna be good for PvP. I know they're not gonna be good for PvE. That's just not one of them until they actually get properly leveled up. And then you could always mix and match these guys with the officers like Katie and I think it's Marla, where one does officer bonus and one does attack bonus, which to me is quite interesting. Let's get 2 battle logs out of this one. So you have a chance of, okay, I had the right one. I'm like, oh, did I just hit the wrong one? That would have been bad. All right, so we got 2 logs out of that. Let's check it out again. So first round, nothing. Second round, nothing. Third round, nothing. And we took more damage in the first one because the mitigation wasn't coming into play. I'm assuming they kicked on this one. As you see, 1 for 4 battles. So let's hit again, another one, because 1 for 5, so they give you a 20% rating. So if we have 1 out of 5 chances, then there's your 20% chance of actually proccing. Let's look at this one. And here we go, 20% chance of proccing. It showed up at the 5th one, so 2 out of 5, not bad. But for hostile killing, it's not really anything special. As you can see, his damage got bumped up. And then it critted again at 409, so if you want to crit per round, I would have to, if you want to crit per round, that would work for it. But for me, I don't think this could be, I don't know yet, a great PvP set, because if you have no mitigation, your damage may be amped up to go into that berserker mode. Maybe you might get lucky and go like all out with that one last hit, but I don't think they'd be the greatest thing in the world to use for just a normal day-to-day thing until they can be properly leveled up, in which they shouldn't be that hard since you're earning these shards per day. And hopefully if it stays there, you can earn enough to max them out. But then again, you run into that deficit of independent credits. Independent credits are always going to be like your downfall. So let's take a look at, let's grab, instead of Rima on bridge, let's take Navi. Oops, let's back out, discard, open it back up. Let's put Navi back on bridge. And Navi's is drastic measures. If it has hull breach, your crit does 20% more, but that's without the bump when you do the, no, what's called the synergy. And now we're at 60%. So let's see what we can do. As long as Pan does the mistakes were made, then we're all hunky-dory with it. There's some mobs over there. So as you see, it takes a little bit longer to cross system without Pan. But Pan is one of those officers where, like, if you want to loot and scoot, loot a base quickly, he'd be a good one to have on there. If you don't already have your main one with Ston on it as a trader, or as your survey ship trying to do some raiding, he'll make a good secondary. If you have a third one, you can throw Claw on the other one, and you have 2 fast moving ships through the system, and then your main hauler, which would be cool if you're sitting there trying to do the raiding aspect of it. That would be a good aspect to have into it, because these officers seem to be more what is it called? So we have the normal AUG officers that are based solely for base raiding, and these officers, the new ones, are solely based for they seem to be more combat oriented, but I'm still not sold yet with how they are. Let me grab that one, and then let's bring you back to the base. As you can see, it feels like not Rima, yeah, oh, I can't remember these guys' names. There's so many names I always forget. Actually, I could just look at the log. What am I doing? So, go to the log. It seems like, yeah, Rima as captain is the best bet. Let's see if we got any activations on this one. So it activates 6% of the damage, and you get 5% more. It crit at 453k. We got another crit at almost 500k. Then its normal cannon set there at 546. Let's go to the next log. But it seemed to get more damage done to it. Pull that one up. So right away, as you see at the beginning of this one, he hit his chance. So mistakes were made. They inflicted hull breach upon himself, which inflicted a damage over time to its own ship. But you have the mitigation that came up from it, so that's going to take less of your damage coming in. And then you have a higher crit damage total. That's off your baseline one. And then you have 5% more chance to your crit. So your ship averages at a 27% chance. You get a 33%. So every time you hit, you have a 33% chance of actually critting. So as you see, they crit off this first round, and then he popped again, and no crit on this one. So at least 1 every 3 rounds you should crit, and as you see, it didn't. The last one we loaded up, nope, we saw 1 more. So nothing here, nothing here, and here we go. So we got all the numbers coming down the line. He critted right there at 414, which is still in the average, and then that's about it. So these officers so far aren't the best right now. Only aspect I can see you using them is for raiding at this point. You have, let's say your main miner has, let's say, claw on it, and then you want another miner coming in, throw pan on it, and max some synergy out and zoom through the system, or when you're trying to catch somebody. So right now these officers are still up in the air. I do like the idea of inflicting damage upon yourself to push out more damage. It kind of reminds me of Hearthstone, where a minion comes out and it hurts itself for 2 damage, but it gains 4 attack out of it plus. So it kind of reminds me of that. This aspect is interesting to me. Now let's see them work through it and see how these officers actually, how they act as they level up, because it could be interesting. Maybe it's another aspect for PvP, for all we know. I don't consider these guys a raidable one. As you guys saw, if you go through my list, if we go down to the bottom of my thing, I'm going to throw this out there before we hand into it. I do have Hairy Mud. I'm still trying to figure out with testing them. I'm still trying to figure out everything about them. And once I forget the information on them, I'll bring out what information I can. But I'm kind of lost for them right now. Like, all I know about them is once per round, if you get hit, or if you get hit a round, you get 10% less damage done to you, and it stacks per round. And once that round is over, then you go back to the baseline of 0, and then you rinse, repeat it. Depends on how much you get hit. It might be. I'm still a little weird about it, and yeah. Alright guys, remember, it's nowonshall signing out. Just remember to hit that like, that subscribe button, that bell notification down below. Remember to go down, there's my Discord, join it. Below that is the donation link. You guys can hit the donate button if you like. And my Amazon wishes is right under that. My birthday is coming up, so just hint hint, and I will be doing a live stream on the 18th at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And below that is the join button. If you click that join button and become a member, you get a green highlight in live YouTube chats and on my Discord, as long as your Discord is associated with your YouTube, and you get a special room in my Discord. All right guys, nowonshall signing out. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.